Hold on. What's up with
What's going on, champ? I see you jamming out there, Isley Brothers. It's good music right there.
you? Yeah, I'm about to eat me some oatmeal right quick before I go in this gym.
Okay. Hey, man, just want to start by saying I appreciate your time. And, I will be posting this later on my page and stuff. So I just wanted to let the people know, for those that don't know, exactly who I'm talking with. And is a former world champ, 140 pound. Okay. You've been in the ring with, I'm going to say, everybody that's been anybody in the industry. Um, you've definitely you've paid your dues more than once. I'm hearing you're gonna get back in the ring pretty soon. Aside from the exhibition you got going on with Devon Alexander, you're supposed to be getting in there with is it Granados?
Um, that's not true.
That's not true. That's false. Okay,
Me and Devin definitely doing the exhibition, but we don't have nothing locked and solid after that.
okay. That'll work. That'll work. Yeah, because people always speculate. They throw things around. So I just want to
Yeah,
get it from the horse's mouth, as they say.
right.
But back to what I was saying. In my eyes, you definitely a legend. You're a Hall of Famer. You 80 plus fights in. There's not many people that can do it at that level. Anytime you've been in the ring, it's always been, like I like to say, more than competitive. There's been some fights that I felt didn't go your way. They should have went your way. But we're gonna dive
Yeah,
into that. We're gonna dive into that as we go a little deeper. But man, it's a pleasure to have you, and I appreciate your time, champ.
no problem. You're welcome, man.
For those of you that don't know, we're talking to Demarcus Chop Corley, man. All right. I see you got your whole chef suit on. So this is definitely something you
Oh
got
yeah,
going
oh
on
yeah,
outside the ring, huh?
oh yeah. I'm working on that channel, man. That YouTube channel, Chop Kitchen. It's
Oh,
coming.
that's what it's about. We just gotta keep promoting and keep pushing it out. Awareness is the key to all things.
Oh yeah.
So like I said, 80 plus fights, 86 if I'm not mistaken, correct?
86. Working on
86.
87.
So 87. Well, being that it's an exhibition, would it go on your record with the exhibition with Devin, or how does that work?
Mm, nah, it's not. It's just gonna be exhibition. It ain't gonna go on because we gonna get 87 in this year though.
Okay. Oh, so that's definitely something that you got working on.
Oh yeah, we definitely working on another fight soon.
Oh, all right. And so this 90 fight thing, that's a legitimate goal.
Uh, possible. It may go more than 90 though.
I don't see why not, man. Listen, by the way, happy belated birthday. I know your birthday just passed on the third. You're 48 years old,
Appreciate
okay? And you look,
it.
listen, you got some of these fighters coming up right now, and if you put them next to you, it's a shame. Okay, you put them all to shame. At the age of 48, you're still in phenomenal shape. Your workout regimen is incredible. So I don't see why to stop. There's not a reason to stop. The body's still functioning. The skills are still there. So why stop now? Hey man, you laughing, but I'm serious, man. I'm sure you look back at these younger dudes, and you're like,
I know
man,
you serious.
yeah,
I know you dead serious.
yes sir. Because I feel like the business aspect of the game is very important, but I feel that people get too caught up in that, and you're like the last of a dying breed, and I say that because you've been in the ring with every big name, every top dog, as they like to say in the industry in your division. You've seen them all. You never ducked nobody. Um, you've taken lopsided paydays just to get the fight, just to secure the fight. I mean, when we speak about how you became world champ, you got less than a week's notice. So that that already wasn't in your favor when you fought for the title. And
Right.
you still went out there, and guess what? You became the world champ. So that speaks to the level of commitment that you have to the game, staying in the gym. Like they say, if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. I'm pretty sure when they called you with less than a week to get ready, They figured out we got one, and they were surprised.
Yeah, yeah, they did that a couple of times.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So in regards to the charity event you got coming up with Devon, what's how can people get tickets? I know it's in California, correct?
Yeah, in Pomona Beach, California. Yep.
Gotcha, gotcha. So and so is this gonna be an outdoor event, indoor event?
It's an outdoor event. They're gonna have a big celebration. Snoop Dogg got two comedians that's doing the exhibition. Ryan Garcia brother is fighting on the card. Ray J and some other artists is doing the exhibition also.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this is like a full card.
Yep, yep.
All right, that'll work. That'll work. And so you and Devon are the main,
Yeah, we the main.
rightfully so, the two former world champions. Which I wanted to ask too, because you guys fought back in 2008. Um, so would this be kind of like uh, a revenge scenario for you, or you guys are gonna go in there and play nice?
The first round, I'm gonna show everybody what I could do at 48. How my defense and my reflexes are still there. I'm debating if I'm gonna even throw a punch the first round.
Really?
I'm just gonna make him miss and catch his shots. Then be like, damn, that man, how old is he?
Yeah.
And then the second round, then I'm gonna turn up on Devin.
Well, you've
I
always
say about
been.
a four.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I say by the fourth round, it's gonna really get heated in there because I'm gonna push Devin. I want to see what he really got in the tank. I know he's a bigger guy, but the smallness and the quickness always get past the big guys when you can't catch them.
That's right. Hey, when I was boxing, my trainer used to always tell me, if they can't hit you, they can't hurt you. So
There you go.
and you've always had that level of elusiveness to you in the ring. But at the same token, you got that dog in you, and it's like there's been times when I've been watching your fights and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just get outside, work them, work them, work them. But that dog comes out of you and you just like to exchange. And I say that, look, and let's go back. When you fought Miguel Cotto, you went to Puerto Rico to fight Miguel Cotto. Many people are not willing to do that. You went to Puerto Rico to
Right.
fight Miguel Cotto. Um, the first round, he scores that flash knockdown, no biggie. Second round, he gives you the low blow. I have you guys even. The third round, you go in there, you smother the guy. You, you could have got him out. You should have got him out the third round, right? He finds a way to get by. He hits you after the bell. Referee doesn't say anything, doesn't take no points away. In that fight, when you control them from the outside, he couldn't deal with your movement. You kept catching with the counter punches, but that dog in you. And then this premature stoppage, that was a hometown stoppage, because
Yeah.
again, you wasn't hurt. Um, and listen, I got a lot of heat from this. I'm Puerto Rican, you know how that goes. But hey, I've always called it how I saw it. Same thing like when Roy Jones fought with Tito. I'm like, hey, there's no way you're gonna see that happen. I believe personally, especially as we got to see Cotto's career evolve, Cotto didn't have that endurance going late into fights. And I believe that if they
Mhm.
don't stop that fight prematurely, I believe you out him. I believe you beat Cotto. Your counter punch ability, your movement, it was giving him fits, which explained the low blows. Um, you're a southpaw, and if you look at, and not a knock against Cotto, congratulations to him, he just went into the Hall of Fame, but um, he did the same thing to Zab Judah. He had to slow him down. How he did it, low blows, And I was at the Garden
Yeah.
for that fight. And again, I'm Puerto Rican. I get a lot of shit at home for this stuff because they're like, but hey, the truth is the truth, right? Zab had him with the speed. Zab kept catching him with that uppercut, kept rocking him. He slowed him down when he
Yep.
went low on him. So yeah, you're one of those guys that for me, for one, I believe that you got to be a true um, boxing fan to really understand and appreciate a fighter like yourself and your career because um, your your rise to the top again, it came by surprise because not that you didn't pay your dues, but because they didn't put you in that position. You just handled your business like you were supposed to. You defended your title,
Right.
I believe 3 times, and then you went in
Yep.
there and then you lost in a split decision to Zab Judah. Um,
Yeah.
which again, that was a competitive fight. But after that fight, you fight Floyd Mayweather, right? Arguably the best fighter. Um, and every time I think of that fight, I have you in my all-time 5 rounds versus Floyd Mayweather, which is the fourth round of that fight. And I mean, wow, what that round was incredible. You guys went back and forth, but you definitely showed that you was there to handle your business, and it showed not just in that round, but for the remainder of the fight. Um, Floyd gave you your credit, your kudos at the end of the fight, and even past the fight. In the future, you became one of his sparring partners, which speaks to the caliber of your skill set. Because Floyd's not just going to have anybody come to the gym as a sparring partner. So the
Right.
fact that he relies on you for you to push him to that level, for you to get him ready, it speaks volumes of the quality of fighter that you are. I won't say word because you're still active, so the quality of fighter that you are. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? On the way that these new fighters kind of maneuver? Like I said, I understand it's the business side. But what do you think about these bigger fights not being made?
I think it's all about the monopoly. Who wanted to have the most rights to promoting, putting the show on, and then the fighters themselves, they're gonna get the money regardless. But it's all about the streaming, the networking, them coming together to make those two fights happen. Those fights happen, and once they can agree upon who's going to get the share, who's going to do the rights of the promotion of it, it'll be okay. Like the Earl Spence and Crawford fight, it's going to happen. Hopefully, it happened this year. It needs to happen this year. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's definitely one where the fans win in every scenario. I like both guys. They're both uh, credible in the ring. They both bring different things to the table. But you know, it's one of those things where I'm like 55-45 Earl. I think that the physicality that he brings to the game, I think will give him the slight edge. But Terrence Crawford does has the ability to just change things around with one shot. Although I don't think that would be much of a factor with someone like Spence. Um, Looking back on some of Crawford's previous fights, he has this tendency to kind of fall behind on the cards, and I don't know that he
Hmm.
can do that with someone like Spence. If he falls behind in the cards, I think it forces him to fight a fight that he doesn't want to fight, and it opens the opportunity for Spence to be able to take it over. Again, not taking nothing away from Crawford, I do believe that he has the ability to expose some of the holes in Spence, like the fact that he's stationary with his head. He doesn't move his head when he's in the ring. He's great. He puts so much pressure on you, I guess, that he doesn't feel he has to move his head as much. But he's definitely hittable. Sean Porter exposed that. Danny Garcia so was able to catch him with a couple counter hooks. But for the most part, I think 55-45, I'm leaning towards Spence. I like them both, but if I had to put my money on somebody, I got to go with Spence.
That's a good number. I would go 52-48 Crawford.
Crawford. Hey, and I wouldn't argue it. Like I said, that both guys bring something to the table. I think Crawford is more composed in the ring. I think he's more of a thinker, and a lot of people don't understand boxing is actually 10% physical, 90% mental. You got to be able to uh, outwork your opponent mentally before you can get to the physical. Because the physical, we can all build ourselves up for. We can all get to that point. But the mental to break your opponent down and the in ring adjustments that actually both men are able to make. But Crawford seems to always find a way. Spence hasn't really been pushed to that point, so we really don't know uh, what he would do in that type of circumstance.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Bud, he make the adjustments being able to fight southpaw and then right-handed,
Yeah,
what gives him advantage. That gives him an advantage point. Earl gonna have to make the adjustments once he switches.
yeah, yeah. I think overall, like I said, the fans win. It's great for boxing. I mean, finally, we're actually getting the fights that
Amazing.
we've been waiting for. Um, it's just a different energy in the atmosphere when you go to an event. Even when you see people speak about the fights, everyone gets excited, and it's just a feeling that we haven't had in a long time. So it's a beautiful thing to have. But again,
Yeah.
away from those guys, we're here for you. This is all about you. Um, so what are your thoughts in regards to um, Hall of Fame? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh,
Because I'll be honest with you, there's
early.
there's a there's a lot of fighters that are not in the Hall of Fame, but are loved way beyond fighters that are in some scenarios. So I just but asking you, because like I said, in my eyes, you're a Hall of Fame guy. Period. 86 plus fights, never duck nobody. Like every top guy, whether they was coming up with you or after you was in your prime, as they want to say, you still seeing these guys. So at the end of the day, I believe you're a Hall of Fame guy. My personal opinion. If it was up to me, if I had the last vote, you definitely getting that nod.
I appreciate it. And I spoke with Ed Brophy 2 years ago when I was in New York for the Hall of Fame. And he asked me, he said, when you going to retire? I said, I told him back then, I said, probably another year or two. He said, well, we're waiting on you. but
Rightfully so.
um,
Rightfully so.
but just accomplishing so much over the years. I didn't look at the Hall of Fame earlier in my career when they was mentioning fighters going to the Hall of Fame. I was just worried about me becoming a world champion, multiple time world champion. And then when I hit like 40 something fights, I'm like, dang,
Man.
you got a lot of fights. And then I made a decision in probably like the last 7 or 8 years that I want to go into the Hall of Fame. I want to do something that haven't been done. And I said Henry Armstrong. Was it Henry? Yeah, Henry Armstrong. He won a title at 135, 140, and 147. So my thing was to win titles in those three different weight classes, and I accomplished that.
Yeah. And so I mean, like I said, me personally, you get the nod. You accomplished that. You're in a class, you're in a group of the elite. You can't deny it, right? Some people like they're numbers people, right? They say, oh, 30 plus that doesn't mean nothing. Let's really get down to the nitty gritty where these losses came from, when they came and who they came to, right? So
Yeah,
let's not sit here and act like it's all 100% valid. Because if we're really gonna sit here and comb things through, you don't got these 30 something losses. And I think really
100.
what's always stood out to me about you was that in victory or in defeat, you've always been the same fighter. I've never seen you out of character at a post fight interview or anything. Like, sure, you can see it on your face, but you know what? You always went. You pay respect to your opponent. Always been a respectable guy, and I think that's honorable. Um, not just because of you as a fighter, but you as a person. It shows who you are as a person. You don't have to go out there and do all the trash talking. Nah, man, you're gonna get in there, let them hands fly, and show people what you do. And that's something that I think people take for granted. A lot of these fighters, they sell the fight verbally. They get in the ring and
Yeah.
I wake up and it's like, it's the ninth round already. What's going on? So, you know, I don't think I've ever watched one of your fights where I felt like, man, when is it gonna end? You've always there's always been something going on, whether you was rocking somebody or you was at the other end of the exchange. But it's like anytime even when you got hurt, it's like it's not over, man. This guy, he's on his feet, he got two hands. Just watch him. There's numerous times where they perfect example, back to the Miguel Cotto fight, they thought you was done in that first round, right? And then the third round, it's like he's holding on for dear life. He don't know what to do, you know. So I think ultimately guys like you are a rare breed, obviously, because there ain't many guys that have done it at that level. Not just like to do it, but at that level consistently. Like when you get chop in the ring, you know what you're gonna get, right? You know what you're gonna get.
I'm coming.
You got a superior boxer,
I'm coming.
not gonna back down. He's gonna put that work in. What more? What more could you ask for in a fighter, right? I mean, we are part of the most brutal sport, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Because when you ride in that wave, I mean, everybody got their surfboards out. They want to ride with you, you know. So hey, when
Mm-hmm.
that wave is over, there's nobody waiting for you at the sand. You got to get out that water by yourself, and you got to find that next wave.
Yep.
And again, to see you do it consistently, which had me thinking like you went from like world champ, and then you had two defeats, back to back, which was Zab and Floyd. And again, it's Zab and Floyd. It ain't like Joe Schmo and Bobby Who, right? So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, two Hall of Fame guys. They are, they did their numbers, world champions. Anybody that you took a loss to has always been respectable opponents. And like I said, there's been some decisions in there where I'm like, I don't agree. But like they said, when you leave it to the judges, it's out of your hands. Um,
Yeah.
but to stay on track for me, what really impressed me most is that in this business where people change their opinion and point of views of fighters more than they change their underwears. For you to always be able to come back and just stay in the public eye and stay in the face and go head to head with all these fighters, it speaks volumes. There's guys that take one loss and they talk retirement. I go back to another issue I had at home. Tito Trinidad, he lost to Bernard Hopkins. What was his move? He retired. He took some time off. He came back. He fought against Winky Wright. He lost. He retired. He came back, fought Roy Jones. He lost. He retired. It's like that's like the solution to defeat. And like that's not it. Like just because you retire, when you come back, you don't get a new slate. You don't get to start from scratch. You still got those. You still got those losses, right? So when I look
Yeah.
at someone like you, that you've had your losses, but how did you overcome those losses with victories? You came back stronger, better, and you took on more opposition. I mean, you fought them like literally. You fought them all, and they've. I don't know how many world champions you've actually fought. But I want to say it's up in the 20-30 margin because I mean the list of fighters that you've been in the ring with is incredible.
Yeah.
I
That's a long list.
I tell you one fighter that I didn't get to watch you fight and you never got to fight that I thought would have been a great fight. And I want to see where you land on this one. I thought you and Shane Mosley would have been an incredible fight.
Man, man. As I look back over my career in them years when Shane Mosley was at 135, I wasn't ready.
Okay. And you know
Nah.
what? I respect
He
that.
he, he would have got me. My mentally, I wasn't ready for that type of fighter. I was young,
Yeah.
and Shane Mosley was young also, because
Yeah.
he's only like 3 years older than me.
Yeah. He's about, I think about 50, 51. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't ready back then. But as I got older and I got a chance to spar with him for the Pacquiao fight, I seen the type of fighter he was, and he wasn't that dull like he was when he was at 135. He got a little soft as he hit 47.
Got you. Got you. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, though, right? It's about timing, right? Knowing when to do
Yeah.
things, and and I think that's where Floyd was the master at in the boxing game. He knew when to fight guys, whether it was just as they peaked, or just got over that little peak, or just before they peaked. But timing was always like impeccable. Where like there's still a big name, there's still a lot of buzz, but
Mm-hmm.
just not that same guy. So it's incredible that
Right.
you say that because it's knowing when when not to take the fight. And management plays a big role in that too. Sometimes if you have the right team behind you, they'll get you the right fights at the right time. If they in it for the money, they're gonna throw you in there with the sharks and hope you can swim. So I
Yeah.
definitely get that part. But man, that's and again, that's real man stuff. Most guys be like, "Oh, that fight didn't happen because," and you're like, "Hey, I wasn't ready at that time." And you know what,
Yeah.
man? Like, I salute that. Like that's real. That's what I appreciate because I grew up on you and guys before you, where again, the best fought the best.
Now, if I would have had an opportunity to fight Kasazu, I would have pulled that one out because
You know,
Kasazu can't fight a boxer.
no. Well, you know what? Costa Zoo, man, again, and not a knock on him. He did what he was supposed to. But I mean, in that fight against Zab, he wasn't winning that fight. You know,
Nah,
he
until he caught Zab.
just caught him. That was it. You know, and that's but unfortunately, that's the sport that we love so much, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like
yeah.
all it takes is one punch. That's it, man. And we see it happen all the time. And so this is why I can appreciate a guy that is a boxer that goes the distance. One, it shows your commitment to the training, your preparation, physically, mentally, you're ready for that, right? Because anybody could get into a fight right now and get knocked out with one shot. But for me to get in this ring
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
and dog you out for 12 rounds, round after round, after round, I own you. I own you. You know,
I like that.
I own you because anybody can get knocked out. Like, you know, think about like the Manny Pacquiao Marquez situation, right? 4 fights. It took Marquez that 4 fight to finally get this like knockout, right? But that knockout didn't erase the three previous wars that they were in, right? That rather
Yeah.
you went one way or the other, they were wars at the end of the day. So for me personally, when they see a guy get knocked out, I'm like, that's nothing. He can recover from that. But for you to get beat on for 12 rounds, and then they say, hey, you want that rematch? You'd be like, I don't know why. I don't know why. But if it's a knockout, you could work on that. You know, keep the hand up. What did we do wrong? Oh, we dropped the hand. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we slid left instead of dipping right. Okay, these are the things that you can adjust in a camp. But for this guy to just wear you down round after round after round, there's not much you can do about that. Not much you can do
Yeah.
about
And I look at that like the Tyson Fury and Wilder. Wilder just knew how to beat that guy, and that's why Wilder didn't want to do another rematch.
yeah, yeah. No, Fury definitely. Um, I tell everybody he's the unicorn of boxing, right? Because if you put this guy on any poster side by side, you would never ever, if you didn't know who he was, you would never put your money on Fury to beat Wilder ever. You wouldn't put your money for Fury to beat Klitschko. You wouldn't do it because physically, we're trained to. We have a trained eye to say, "Oh, this guy, he's got to be the man. Look at that body. Look how big he is. Look how strong he is."
Mm-hmm. Right.
Fury, as big as he was, or as big as he is, should I say, very light on his toes, a great jab, good head movement, and they say he's not a big puncher. The guy is almost 300 pounds. There's power behind that. I,
Yeah.
you know, and so when people say, "Oh, he can't punch." Okay, let me see you standing there and take one of them shots. If he can't punch, guys will just walk him down. It's not that simple, you know. And even guys at your division, people say, "Oh, this guy's small. I trash him." Okay, get in there. Feel one of them zaps. Let one of them jabs pop you. You think he hit you hard, and nah, he just working with you, you know. And these are things that I try to tell people, right? Unfortunately, our biggest fan base, our biggest support in boxing is day to day 9 to 5 guys. You know, they go to the bar, have a couple beers, and this guy's a bum. This guy, yeah, okay. You don't know what it took for this bum to make it to that ring. The fact that this bum is on TV lets you know this guy been putting in that work. So you woke up on this bum if you want to, and you see exactly what this bum is made of. Um, and
Right.
and that's unfortunately that comes with the business. You take one loss. It depends on who you lose to and when you lose. Man, they'll write you up and they're gonna say, "Oh, he's done. He's look at Canelo, perfect example. Canelo's been the quote
Yeah.
unquote pound for pound king for the last how many years, right? And he loses in a fight, which I
And
thought was it was never a smart move. But kudos to him for chasing greatness, right? Because if he pulls it off,
yeah.
he's a genius. But it didn't work in his favor. Stylistically, it didn't make sense. He went up there against a guy, Dimitri Bivol, which is fundamentally sound. He's a basic fighter with a jab. He fights tall because he is tall. Why should he shrink down to your size? If you get past his jab, he's gonna crack you with the right. You get in too close, he's gonna turn you around, and we're gonna reset. That's it.
There you go.
That's it. That's the fundamental. When you understand the fundamentals of boxing, it's boxing. It's not brawling. This is not MMA. We don't want to see you get in there and brawl it out. Again, it makes the fight more exciting, but Bivol knew what was at stake. He knew what he had to do. He stuck to the plan. Kudos to him for being disciplined. People call him a boring fighter. He was a smart fighter. Why go in and exchange with this guy and take unnecessary punishment? There's no need for it.
Floyd said the blueprint for unbeaten.
Absolutely, as he's done with many guys. I think that you again. I'll go back to that. I mean, the whole fight, the whole fight was incredible with you and Floyd. But that fourth round really stands out to me because you was able to do something that not many people have been able to do, which was to beat Floyd in his next point and actually land. I mean, consistently land. It wasn't like in a situation like when Miguel Cotto fought Floyd, where Miguel Cotto had him in the corner, was throwing flurries. It looked good, but when you slow it down, you look, those shots were kind of rolling. Your shots was popping Floyd's head out the glove, back and back and back, which clearly you was landing. You hurt him. You rocked him. He went to the corner. He smiled, and that's typically letting you know I felt it. And moving forward from the fourth round, I believe fourth, fifth round, Floyd wasn't the same fighter. They were saying I think it was the hand or something like that, but he wasn't. He had to respect it. The first couple rounds he came out, he was having fun, and then you spanked that ass real quick, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta tighten up. I gotta tighten up." And again, it speaks volumes to your training, to your skill set, to your ability to get in there and adjust because Floyd was younger, fresher. He just came up, which is another thing. He had just came up, so speed was on his side, technically, youth, and you neutralized it. It was a fight. He didn't go in there and have his he didn't go in there and have his way like he did with everyone else at 135. He walked in there and was like, "Oh shit," because you was the welcome to the 140 fight. You opened that
Yeah.
door. You ushered him in. If I'm not mistaken, you was his 140 debut. So you know,
hmm
so you ushered him right into that, and he quickly learned that hey, you know what? I gotta come up here and I gotta be smart and I gotta box because you guys are bigger, you guys hit harder, and I mean your ring savviness really I felt created trouble, not just for him but for everybody else. You set these traps where you look like you're open for the shot when they come in. That right hook that you throw, I mean, I think I think Danny Garcia stole that from you, but he just does it with the left hand because the way you set it up, you just look like you're open for that right hand, and as soon as they throw their right, you throw your hook right over the top and it's the same shot you hurt Cotto with. It's like these are things again. Like as a for me, I grew up from a little one all around boxing, so I can appreciate true boxers. You, in my opinion, some people like to categorize you as a counterpuncher. I believe you're a well-rounded fighter. You have the ability to get inside, dog it out. You control the ring very well from the outside. And counterpunching may be your strength. That might be when you're at your best. But I believe you're an all-around fighter because you can do it all. Not a lot of guys can go inside and mix it up.
Yeah.
So what's on the agenda in regards to I know you say you're looking for 87. So if you can get someone at 87, who's on your radar? If you can make that fight happen.
Um, I would like to do a 10 rounder with somebody in the top 20 for my 87, and then work my way down, hit somebody in the top 15 for 88, top 10 at 89, and then for my 90th fight, go with somebody in the top 5 at 135.
Mm. And I'm glad you say 135 because that's honestly that's what has stood out to me most out of your career is that you've been able to keep this weight your entire career, man. You've never had a problem. Look, perfect example. George Kambosos misses weight. He has to go back, and we know what that's like to lose that last pound, right? Because if you
Yeah.
show up to the scales, and you still got to go back, and mentally and physically, that breaks a fighter at times because it's like I put in all this work in camp, and I'm still over. for you to be at 48 and sit here and confidently say and be able to say 135 when you got guys in their prime struggling, man, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. Honestly, because George Kambosos, man, he could have lost his belt on the scales if he didn't
Yeah.
if he didn't make that weight. People don't understand that. You could literally get stripped on the scale. That happened to Nate Campbell. Nate Campbell lost his title. He never got to defend it. Nate Campbell
Wow.
became
Damn.
yeah, he became unified champ when he beat Diaz. He beat Juan Diaz. He beat Juan
Mm-hmm.
Diaz, and then fight after fight fell through. When he finally got a fight, he missed weight, and so
Mm.
so
I
he
didn't know that.
yeah he was able he still went through with the fight because he wanted to give the guy the opportunity to fight for the belt, but he lost the belt on the scale. He didn't lose it in the ring. He lost it on the scales.
Mm.
So that's another guy that I felt would have been a good fight for you because he's
Oh yeah,
oh
yeah.
you and Campbell, oh
And
man,
we
oh
and
man.
we talk about it every now and then. Man, we're gonna spot one day. And he
Hey,
like, Chop, you don't want
yeah,
that.
yeah, Campbell. Hey man, Campbell, man, he's one of those guys, man. Again, like people wrote him off.
He's a dog. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
big
dog
dog.
right there,
That's
boy.
a big dog. That's a big. I tell people all the time. Listen, man. Oh, but he was this. Nah. Listen, that's a big dog, man. Don't get fooled with the weight class. Don't get. Listen, he gonna go in there. He gonna get busy with whoever want to get busy, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But so Campbell's another fight that didn't happen. What's a fight in your prime that if you could have made happen, you would have had happen, but didn't happen for you?
Hmm. I didn't even think about the Mayweather because I knew he was at 135. And then they started talking about him coming up. So that fight did happen, but I was looking at Costa Zoo.
Asazu. Now, was that offer ever made for that, or that just never came?
Nah, it never came.
How do you feel about you know the way the structure with the four belts, right? I'm okay with the four major belts, but how do you feel about like the intercontinental, the international, the gold, the platinum, the diamond? How do you feel about all these different champions? I feel like we're collecting Pokemon cards at this point. It's like there's a whole different
There's a
series.
lot of them.
Yeah, it's like you gotta catch them all.
um, I like that they have the four major ones, and then underneath of that, it should be a continental, and somebody within the top 10 is fighting for the continental. And once you win the continental title,
It become mandatory.
then that puts you right there for that mandatory spot.
I like that. Yeah, I like
That's
that.
it.
I like that. Yeah, I agree with that. It should be something like the WBC gives out like that little like ribbon with the WBC medal or whatever,
Metal.
and
Yeah.
that makes you the number one. And I'm like, okay, if you're doing that, then that works. But they're doing that with like a plethora of other titles. You got like
Mm.
look at Tank Davis, WBA champ, but there's another version of it out here. You got the super WBA champ, and you got the regular champ. Like, what's going on? We need to
Too many.
yeah we need to do some title consolidation going on here because it's hard to really understand who's who in the industry. Um, in
Yep.
regards to giving back to the sport, have you considered training fighters?
Yeah. I'm working with a couple fighters now. One of the young kids, he was just in camp with Floyd for the fight in Dubai,
Nice.
and we've been working with him for 2.5 years now. His name Kanye. He's out of Seattle, St. Louis. He's from St. Louis.
Okay.
And when we first started working, he was just trying to swim. Now he can do water polo.
There you go. There you go.
And you can do water polo when you're in there with Floyd and you finish up a work with him.
Like I said, back to you. when people want to speak about numbers, don't tell me nothing about numbers. Let's look at it. Let's look at it for what it is, right? Out of all the fighters that have been active and have been called great and so and so, Floyd didn't call none of those guys a camp. He called you, you know. So
3 times.
so this is what I'm saying. So it's like I don't when you listen to the noise and all that, I just silence it because I do my own research. I do my own study, and I've been a fan of boxing for a long time. I did in New York the Golden Gloves and all that stuff. So I look at it from not just a fan perspective, from a fighter's perspective. I know what it takes to get ready for a fight. So when people say, "Oh, this guy's a bum," I'm like, man, you have no idea what it takes to get ready for a fight. Like no idea,
Yeah,
right? Not just the physical, but the mental aspect of it. Depending on what level you want. I mean, the separation from the family and all of the above that comes with an actual camp, it takes a toll on a
yeah,
fighter. If you've never been away from your family and now you got to go away to camp for 4 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 if you're in a good position, 10-week camp, man, that alone is enough to break a fighter in some cases.
but most of these fighters don't even do camp no more. They just train at home in the city
That's the problem.
because they don't want to leave their friends.
They friends, and you know what? They friends are only there for them again while they're winning, right? Let them take a loss, let them, and all those friends will be gone, man. All those friends will be gone, man. And
Yeah,
it's nothing new. This is something that's happened numerous times. Many other fighters in the past have gone through it. So you gotta ask yourself, when are people gonna learn? When are they gonna learn? If you could give advice to these up and coming fighters, what would it be?
don't drink, don't smoke, and be very 100% disciplined when it comes to this sport of boxing.
Yeah. Well, you need that discipline for sure. Yeah, you definitely need that discipline. Without discipline, you ain't got nothing. You're not gonna make weight. Training camp is gonna be a lot harder. You're gonna be fatigued when it comes to it. The drinking and smoking, me personally, I'm naturally high, is what I tell people. I enjoy life. I'm high off of life. I woke up, I'm healthy, my wife, my kids are healthy. Like I'm high on life. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think about all the people that didn't wake up. All the people that's down and out, people that can't walk, people that can't talk, people that's waiting on somebody to go change their diaper, all that stuff. I'm blessed beyond measures. I don't got time to be sitting here wasting this blessing having these dull moments because I can't process my thoughts fast enough to really enjoy the moment and what's really going on. So that's
Right.
that's great that you say that, and I'm pretty sure that's part of the key as into why it's so easy for you to make weight.
You see what I had for breakfast? Oatmeal and
Oh,
toast.
absolutely. But that's discipline. That's the discipline of a champion, right? Because a champion is not what the belt says. Champion is the way you live your life. There's champions all around us. You know, the dad that gets up every day at 5 in the morning to go put food on the table for his kids, that's a champion right there. That single mom that's struggling
Yeah,
to get her kids
yeah,
up to school and make it happen, that's a champion. So we're surrounded by champions, you know. So the fact that you're able to do that while still pursue all the things that you love in life, you're not just a champion, man. You're great. You're legendary. You know what I'm saying? Like you beyond because not only are you doing what you need to do to handle your day to day business, but you're also doing to pursue what you're passionate about, what you love, what you enjoy. So that sets you ahead of the competition light years. Because most people can't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. You got
right.
you got people with the silver spoon, as we like to say. Everything's there for them. I don't want to go run today. I'll go to the gym later. But yo, where's the party at? Let's turn up. So that's the difference. And then you got the guy that comes from humble beginnings and don't have nothing, and this is all he knows, and he shows up, and he's gonna take everything you got. He's gonna take that silver spoon right away from you because you gave it to him. It's very rare that you see someone in that position. People don't appreciate what they have until they no longer have it. Unfortunately, that's how we learn.
And it's a lot of fighters from other countries who look at our lifestyle of living, be like, man, I wish I can live like they living in the U.S. Because
Absolutely.
they know it's hard back home,
Oh yeah.
and when they get that opportunity to come here and fight, they
Hey,
take advantage for it. They
hey,
fight with their heart.
That's all they got. That's all they got. That's all they got.
Because they want to change that lifestyle of living that they got back home.
You know what the difference is that unfortunately fighters in the US, right? We fight for like that Rolls Royce. We fight for like the biggest
Luxury.
yeah, luxuries, right? These guys are literally fighting to change their family's living situation. It's not even about them.
Yep.
So when you do it for someone other than yourself, that drive, that it's just it's unexplainable. It's unmatchable. And
Yeah.
those are the times where skill, if skill isn't fine tuned and if it's not really sharp, it's gonna get outworked because there's been a lot of fighters that weren't skillful that became champions. But look at what they came from, look
Mm-hmm.
at why they did it, what they did it for. Then you understand. Then you understand.
Yeah.
Um, Going back to Wilder, he gets a lot of criticism. He can't box. He can't this. He'll knock your ass out though. That's it, right? He'll knock your ass out, right? But I say that to say that what drove him to becoming a boxer was because of his daughter's condition, right? He needed to find a
Right.
way to be able to provide the proper services, the proper attention that she would need, and he did it to the highest level. He became heavyweight champion of the world and dominated the division for years, whether the skill
Yeah.
set was there or not. And this is what I'm getting at. When he fought Luis Ortiz, everyone thought Luis Ortiz because of his boxing ability was gonna, but yeah, but not the same hunger, not the same ambition, not the same drive. It's just not. And Ortiz's daughter, I believe his daughter has a condition as well. But that just goes to show you which man wanted it more. That's all it came
Mm-hmm.
down to, because sure, Ortiz boxed beautifully and he was up on the rounds, but all he needed was that one shot, and Wilder landed it in both fights, and they both ended the same way. They both ended the same way. But to get back to you, so we got it's July 4th weekend, or week actually, July 4th
Mm-hmm.
is the exhibition, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you say you're looking to get 87 in the books this year. Um, Anything else? Because and when I see you get on the gram, I'm like, man, I don't think I've ever seen you have so much fun as you have it now. You doing the wig, right? And it's funny because the first time I saw him, I had to like double look. I was like, oh, it's the champ, right? So you doing the wig, right? You showing up everywhere dressed like a chef. What's the story with the chef? Is this something that you've always wanted to do? Like, what's the story with that?
um, I love. My name is Chop Chop. I love to eat, and I prefer eating in than out. That way, I know what my food tastes like. I know it's gonna be good. If you prepare it yourself, you know you're gonna prepare it right. Someone
Absolutely.
else preparing it for you, they just doing what they was taught to do, and they ain't got the taste of food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have a passion for cooking. I'm working on Chop Chop Cookware. Eventually, we're gonna get that up and rolling. I want to do a YouTube channel. I want to get out there and just start networking. Chop Chop in the kitchen. Coming out with a documentary about my life. I've been shot twice. I should be dead or paralyzed.
Wow.
But the story is I had a dream that I was in a shootout. And then I go to the gym and I tell everybody the next day about the dream. That night, I'm getting shot in a shootout
Wow.
over Eddie Bauer coat. They wanted to rob me for.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, I have visions, and I didn't believe visions was real until you can dream about it, and then it happened the next day.
That's
That
incredible.
opened my eyes, and that happened in 1997.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible, man. So over Eddie Bauer Code, potentially lose your life. And that goes back to speak on your age. I'm pretty sure at this age, hey, you can have that code.
And they can have my underwear.
Yeah, because we fall victim to that. that ego thing, that pride thing when we're younger. You know, we got so much testosterone going through our body. You want what? You gonna take what? Are you crazy? So I can understand, but to think that you were shot 2 times and still be here, hey, you know what? That means God has a greater purpose for you. You know, and clearly
Yeah.
you've lived it, right? You've lived it. Yeah,
Mm.
you're 48 years old, man, multiple world champion, right? Successful. Rather, people want to give you your credit. You're just doing that. You've been successful in the industry, right? There ain't a single gym or arena that you're gonna walk to where anybody's gonna be like, "Oh, this guy." No, everybody's gonna know who Chop Chop is. So
Yeah.
when you look back at that, you see God has a greater purpose for you, and the fact that you going into this next endeavor, I believe that if you approach it like you've approached your boxing career, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit.
Thank you.
There's so many opportunities out there too, man. Me personally, man, I would start reaching out, getting in touch with different networks, because man, I'm not the only me, man. There's millions of people that know about Chop, millions of people that wanna get around Chop. You understand? Because you impact, and not whether you know it or not, you impact people differently all around the world. There's someone across the globe that don't even speak our language that's gonna hope to one day be able to meet you, or you put out a book that would love to purchase it and get to know a bit better about Chop. That's just
The story.
that's the reality of it, right? We just don't know that because we're limited to what we can see, what we can touch. But
Right.
the reality of it all is it remains the same. Is what someone it's someone that you don't know that's going to give you your biggest support system. There's someone out here just like, I hope I could run across this guy to see how I can help him get to that next level. Hey, I have a great opportunity. Let's get together. But they don't know how to access you, and you don't know about them, so you don't know how to access them. Just push the
Right.
brand, push the brand, push the brand. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, man. As long as you believe in yourself, that's all that matters, man. I learned that the hard way. People always cry about, oh, I don't have a support system. I am my support system. Because
Right.
what good is your support system when everything else falls apart and you're the one that's been carrying the load the whole time? What does it matter? It doesn't matter,
Mm.
right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
if you stop carrying the load, then that's it. The load is over. So you push that envelope forward, man, and you get that rolling. Um, I'm thinking, I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it out to California, but I'm trying to I'm trying to see what I can do. I would like my youngest son loves Vegas, so we go over there often. I would like to get in like a in person meet situation and see
Okay.
how we can collaborate on something, because I have something going on, and I got about 10 people on my list that I would like to have a part of it, and you're one of them. Just because I don't care about the glitz and glam that everybody else can show because it's material things. I like the genuine things, right? And most people are not
Mm-hmm.
willing to give you that. They're only gonna, like, if you go based on who you see on Instagram or Twitter or whatever else is out there. If you think that that's who that person is, then you don't know that person. But you're one of the few people that
So true.
you can go through your feed and be like, that's who he is. Like, you having fun. People won't
Mm.
they won't put a wig on like you would because they're too cool. They afraid of what people gonna think. Or how they, man, like you having fun. You having a good time. This is who you are. This is who Chop Chop is. And again,
Man.
I've been watching you long enough where I can know and understand that when you was in the ring, when you was fighting back then, after the fight, never, whether it went your way or not, it was always the same person. You never changed. It was no outburst. It was maybe something happened in the locker room that we don't know about, but in the ring, you always conduct yourself as a professional. Um, so you're one of the 10 people that I have on the list that I want to be able to collaborate with this project. I have your number, so I'll text you some of the details and you let me know if you're interested. But it could potentially tie into what you said about doing a documentary, because I'm dealing with Netflix and stuff like that. So I'm trying to put something together, man. So that's
Definitely. Definitely.
that's the goal, man. I'm looking to bridge the gap from the past to the present and future champions. and I'm
There
just
you
kind of
go. I'm with you.
I'm just bringing it all together, man. So I would love to have you on board, and we can. I got your number. We'll be in touch, and we'll definitely coordinate properly and see what works for you, and we can go from there for sure.
Sounds good. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
For sure, for sure. I know you said you was going to the gym today. You got a set time to go, or
As soon as we finish up, I'm going to get my gym bag.
that'll work. That'll work. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up too long. How much time you got, or more or less? I got a couple questions, and I have a little. I call it a game that I like to play, and this is for the fans, and this
Let's
is
go.
totally up to you if you want to do it. So the way this works, it's called 12 rounds with the champ. You're the champ.
Let's go.
I'm gonna give you one, two, or three options. You're gonna pick the one that best suits you, right? Once you
Uh-huh.
answer all of those, I'm gonna save this. Then I'm gonna use this to reach out to your fans, right? Once I get 10, minimum of 10, the first 10 that actually submit the answers to these questions, I would then have you pick one. So I'll let you know, hey, we got the 10 in, but you pick one at random. You pick that fan. Once you pick that fan, we're gonna match your responses to their responses. If they can match 9 out of the 12 questions, they'll get to choose between $100 gift card or autographed glove. So we would mail you the glove, you sign it, and then we'll send it to the fan, right? If they get all
No problem.
if they get all 12, they win both. We give them the gift card, and you sign the glove. If they get 9, if they get less than 9, if they fall short, they gotta confess that they couldn't go 12 rounds with the champ. You good? You good with that?
I'm good.
All right. So look, we're gonna start off with you prefer seafood or soul food?
It's soul food.
Soul food. Okay, cool. Hip hop or R&B?
I'm going with R&B.
R&B. Okay, okay, me too. Basketball or football?
I don't think none of them will get this. Neither one.
Neither one. Got you.
But I
Uh,
gotta pick one, right?
yeah, yeah. But if they know you, if they know if it's a really good fan, they'll be able to get it. But if you want to make it fair for them, you can pick one.
I'm gonna pick football.
Football. Got you.
But if they really know me, if they really know, they would say neither one.
Neither one. Got you. Um, you rather drive or be driven?
Drive.
Gotcha. You prefer chicken or steak?
Chicken.
Okay. Cash or credit?
Cash.
Mornings or nights?
Morning.
Mornings. Okay. Home cooked meal or 5-star restaurant? Home cooked meal, obviously.
Home cooked meal. Home cooked.
So again, if they know you, there's a couple in here that should be really really easy. Um, and if they watch the whole interview, they'll get some of these answers as well. Beer, wine, or liquor, or none.
Yeah. Special occasion wine.
Wine. Gotcha. Okay.
Never beer.
Never
Never beer
beer.
though.
Slim or thick women?
Woo, Slim. If they know me, they know Slim. And they're gonna know it's and if they really know me, it's light. Almost white.
All right. Now it gets a little tricky. Mayweather or Ali?
Mayweather.
Mayweather. Makes sense. Netflix and chill or a night out on the town?
Netflix and chill.
All right. Sounds good.
7 days a week.
Sounds good. So I got your 12 responses. So what I'm going to do now, these same 12 questions. So I'll put up a post. I'll tag you in it, and I'll let the fans know um, to come and DM us if they're interested, and then we'll give them those same questions. They have to answer them. Once I get at least 10 of them, I'll get back with you, and I'll let you pick one at random, and then we'll compare who who answered what, and if they get at least 9, like I said, they can pick between the $100 gift card or the glove. If they get all 12, they'll get both. If they get less than 9, they gotta confess that they couldn't go 12 rounds with the champ. And that's just something that I like to do for the fan, and also it helps people get back in tune with you, right? Because a lot of people know about you, but like they say, out of sight, out of mind. So this is just another way to kind of reintroduce you, and it kind of makes it fun. And the way I do it is that if no one wins in the first go around, I'll bring you back in rotation in about a month or two. I'll bring you right back into the rotation. So another batch of 10 can compete and kind of go for it again. And then until we eventually get a winner. But in doing that, you kind of like just throwing the net out to the sea and bringing it in and see what comes in it with it. And, we can bring more attention. Hopefully you get your YouTube channel going soon. Whatever products you're working on, we can start pitching these ideas, and, you just never know what that net gonna catch out there for you.
Yeah. Yep.
So
what state you in right now?
I'm from New York, but I live in Florida. I got a transportation
Okay.
company, which is my company here, and so I really just travel the whole country though. So like I said, when I say I'm in Vegas, my little man, he loves to travel with me. So typically when I'm going over there, he knows pack it up and we gonna take this ride and we're gonna go over there. So um, we'll definitely, like I said, we'll definitely be in touch. Um, if you want, like you could, I will crop it, we'll chop it up and edit up. If you want, you can say now, like, hey, this is Chop Chop. You tuned into Fix Pro Tips for your chance to win. Whatever. I can text it to you if you want to just send me a separate video at a later time. But that way the fans know that it's valid, because sometimes people, there's so much fraud going on that
Yeah.
for me to just send somebody, hey, you want to win $100? Like, yeah, we've heard that before. So
Right.
if you want to do that, then it's cool. We'll add it to it. Add it to it, and we'll go from there. But
Yeah, we can do it.
yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to get it all tied in and make it all work and make it happen.
All right.
You want to do it now, or you gonna send the video later?
Nah, we can do it now. Get it out the way.
All right, cool. So yeah, so you could, like I said, just this is Chop Chop, 3-time world champion. Actually four. You're a 4-time world champ.
Multiple. I just say multiple.
Well, if we're gonna count all the straps, but I'm saying 4, like, well, yeah, you could say multi-champ. Yeah, you can say
Four.
4. Yeah,
It's 4 major ones.
4
Yeah.
major. That's I'm thinking
4
the
major
majors.
ones.
I'm thinking 4 majors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm telling you, champ, I'm on top of it, champ. I'm on top of it. But yeah, you could just say multi-champ. Chop Chop Corley, Fix Pro Tips. For your chance to win $100 or autographed glove. With the following instructions below, and then that's it.
And what is this thing? What is it called? Tips?
Figs Pro Tips.
6 Pro Tips.
Figs. FIGZ. Figs Pro Tips.
Oh, figs.
Yeah.
All right.
Go for
it. Hey, this Chop Chop Corley.
So good.
Hey, this Chop Chop Corley. We got 6. You ready?
Yep.
Hey, Chop Chop Corley, multiple-time world champion. We got Figs Pro Tips. Got his questionnaire for you. Tune in, see if you can get the questions right so you can win a good prize.
That's perfect. Yeah, I'll edit that. I'll put that post up, and we'll run with it. And once I get the 10 people in here, I'll send them over to you. You pick one, we'll compare, and we'll go from there, champ.
All right, that's a bet.
Hey, I appreciate your time, champ. You get that work in. We'll be in tune. If I can contribute to what you got going on anyway, man, just holler at me. We'll work it out. We'll make something happen.
Appreciate it, boy.
All right, champ. Later.
All right, later.